Imagine yourself sitting in a comfortable chair, feeling relaxed and at ease, noticing the way your body sinks just slightly into the surface you're resting on. And as you breathe in deeply, you might begin to notice a calm, soothing sensation spreading through your body. With each breath, you find yourself becoming more aware of the natural rhythm that guides your body, breathing in and out. And as you continue to breathe easily, your mind begins to wander, drifting, floating. You may notice a small voice inside you, one that whispers gently in the back of your mind. But you don't need to pay much attention to it right now, because you can always return to it whenever you're ready. And as you listen to my voice, just notice there's a deeper part of you, a part that understands exactly what you need. That part of you that knows how to let go, to forgive, and to create new possibilities. It's almost as if, in this moment, a part of you already understands you can forgive yourself. What if, right now, you could allow yourself to simply release the expectations of who you think you should be? Imagine, just for a moment, all the pressure you've ever felt, all the shoulds begin to fade away. And as they fade, you might notice a sense of calm filling the space they left behind. The energy, once devoted to shoulds, now becomes free, light and expansive. It's almost like you've just turned a page in a book that you've been reading for years. Feel yourself, perhaps for the first time, really embracing the idea that you can forgive yourself. Not for anything wrong, but for simply being human. And as you allow this process to unfold, you might notice forgiving yourself feels as natural as breathing, effortlessly. Because in truth, forgiving yourself doesn't need to be a grand event. It can be a quiet shift, a soft release, that happens almost without effort. And as you listen, you may feel this forgiveness is already happening right now, in this very moment. And as you realize this, notice how it's okay to be exactly who you are right now. It's perfectly fine to release any thoughts that tell you that you should be different. In fact, you might even start to feel that being who you are is enough, always has been enough. What if, in this moment, there's a new possibility opening up to you? One where you, being yourself, without any pressure to change, without needing to be something else, feels like freedom. Just notice. It's like a puzzle piece of your life is coming together, naturally and effortlessly. And with each piece fitting into place, you feel more aligned with who you truly are. It's almost as if the past is melting away, leaving only the present moment to guide you. And as you continue on this path, you'll find every time you take a deep breath, you release another layer of judgment. You forgive yourself for not being who you thought you should be. And in this process, you discover forgiveness creates a new space for growth, new space for peace, and for a deeper understanding of yourself. So just imagine what it would be like to step into your future, not as someone you think you should be, but as someone who already knows that they're enough. And notice how much easier it is to move forward with grace, with understanding, as the new empowered version of yourself, because you are already becoming who you're meant to be. Take your time. Whenever you're ready, move forward feeling refreshed, peaceful, and more connected to yourself than ever before. So as you sit there, you may notice, with every breath you take, the feeling of comfort and relaxation deepens even further. Your body feels heavier yet lighter, grounded yet free, as if you're drifting gently into a peaceful ocean of calm. And as your mind settles more deeply, you might begin to notice something interesting, perhaps a soft whispering thought that says, "It's okay, it's okay, it's safe to forgive." That voice could be quiet but clear. You don't need to focus on it, but instead just let it settle, like a gentle wave washing over you, clearing away any lingering doubts, any old thoughts about not being enough. And as that wave recedes, it leaves only peace behind. Now it's interesting, isn't it? How sometimes you can carry expectations without even realizing it, almost like carrying invisible bags full of shoulds, musts, and supposed tos. And imagine how much lighter you might feel when you let go of these bags. You can choose to set them down, without judgment, without fear, and notice how easy it is to forgive yourself for having carried them at all. It's okay to have those moments, because they led you right here, right now, where you can choose freedom. What if right now you could completely release the idea that you have to be someone else? Could it be possible, just by allowing yourself to be who you are, you become who you're meant to be? It's so simple, so effortless. Just notice how your body relaxes as you think about that, how your breath flows easier, your thoughts clearer. Every time you take a deep breath, you might find yourself relaxing even more, feeling more and more at peace with who you are. Because deep inside, you know you've always been enough. And in that knowing, you start to realize forgiving yourself is a process that can happen naturally, without force, without struggle. It simply happens as easily as you exhale, effortlessly. In fact, each time you exhale, you might imagine releasing an old belief or an expectation, one by one. Each breath out, a little more of the shoulds and the musts. They're letting go, leaving you lighter, freer. And with each breath in, you may feel a sense of relief, a sense of knowing that you are completely at peace with who you are. And now, in this moment, you might ask yourself, what if this peace, this forgiveness, becomes a natural part of my life from this point forward? Just imagine for a moment stepping into your day ahead, knowing it's okay to be exactly who you are, without any pressure, without needing to meet anyone else's expectations. As you move forward, you may find the very act of being yourself is powerful, that it brings a sense of calm and clarity, because you now see being yourself is not only enough, it's all you ever needed to be. Some people, you know, have spent so much time searching for something they didn't need to look for at all. They didn't realize what they were seeking was already within them. And as you listen to this, you might just notice, in the same way, you no longer need to search for permission to forgive yourself. It happens automatically, almost like a natural unfolding of something that was always there. And there's a place in your mind where forgiveness, self-acceptance and peace, they're already taking root. Almost as if it's been there for a long time, quietly waiting for you to recognize it. And as you do, you allow that recognition to grow, just like a seed that's been nurtured and watered. So as you reflect on this, you might even notice every day, in small ways, you're forgiving yourself for not being who you thought you should be. And with every act of forgiveness, a new sense of peace grows stronger within you. If there are any parts of you that still wonder whether it's really possible to forgive yourself, it's okay to just listen. You don't need to force anything, no need to rush. The very fact that you're here right now means you're already on the path to freedom, because you've allowed yourself to listen, to be open, to trust. In fact, I wonder, could you begin to notice how much easier it is to forgive yourself than you thought? Perhaps it's easier than you ever imagined. Like lifting a finger or taking a step. As you continue moving forward, one small step at a time, you might discover each day brings more acceptance, more peace, more understanding of who you are and who you are becoming. As you think about your future, imagine a time when you've already fully embraced the idea of forgiving yourself for not being who you thought you should be. Notice how much lighter, more confident and at ease you are. Feel how easy it is to go through your days effortlessly, letting go of any pressure to be different, knowing you are enough. And just for a moment, notice how deeply satisfying it is to know you're exactly who you need to be right now. So as you sit there, breathing deeply, you might begin to notice how every breath brings you deeper into a state of calm and relaxation. It's as though with each breath, you naturally drift further into a peaceful state, allowing everything to slow down just a bit more. And as you relax, perhaps you begin to notice something important, something very subtle yet profound. The feeling that, in this moment, it's safe to let go of anything that no longer serves you, anything that might hold you back from embracing who you truly are. Just for now, it's okay to set down the weight of of all the expectations that you've carried, all the judgments of who you thought you should be. And notice how, as you let go, you start to feel lighter, freer. And in this moment, it's interesting how easy it can be to forgive yourself for carrying those expectations in the first place. It's almost like a person who, after carrying a heavy bag for a long time, realizes it wasn't necessary to carry it at all. So just imagine how that might feel, to be free of the shoulds and the musts that once seemed so important. And now, without those burdens, notice how much easier it becomes to simply be yourself. You might find it interesting, the very idea of not being who you think you should be is starting to seem unnecessary, even a little funny, because who you are right now is exactly who you're meant to be. You can take a moment to feel this truth deep inside, that you don't need to be anything other than what you already are, because deep down, you already know you are enough. It's as if every part of you is finally understanding that self-acceptance can happen in an instant, whenever you choose. And you can choose this right now, effortlessly, just like breathing. In fact, with each breath, you may find yourself releasing more and more of any pressure, any need to change, and instead, you feel yourself naturally coming into a deeper understanding of who you truly are. Each exhale letting go, each inhale accepting yourself fully. And isn't it fascinating how in this moment you can either forgive yourself for not being who you thought you should be, or you can choose to simply continue accepting yourself without any pressure. Either way, you're moving towards peace, moving towards self-forgiveness. And perhaps as you think about this, you might find yourself wondering how much easier it could be to embrace who you are, with no need to become anything different. Could it really be that simple? Could it really be this natural? And as you continue to explore this possibility, notice how much easier it becomes to allow yourself the freedom of being exactly who you are, and letting go of the need to be anything else. And with each moment that passes, you might find your mind becomes more accepting of yourself, without needing to understand all the details, without needing to figure out every why or how. It's enough just to feel the release of expectation and the calm that follows. It's like a switch that's already been flipped in your unconscious mind. The moment you begin to understand it's okay to be who you are, everything begins to shift. What if you could just begin to notice every time you forgive yourself, you get closer to a state of peace, a state of ease, and a state of knowing that you are enough. And if you could imagine just for a moment a tree in a forest standing tall, strong and free. It doesn't strive to be anything other than what it is. It simply grows naturally with the seasons. In the same way, you can choose to grow without striving, to expand without trying, to become something else. You can simply allow yourself to be like the tree, grounded, centered, and perfectly aligned with who you're meant to be. And as you think of that tree, you might notice how it feels in your own life to just be without judgment, without comparison, allowing yourself to exist just as you are. Imagine stepping into your future, seeing yourself walking forward, fully at peace with yourself, embracing every moment exactly as it is. Notice how much easier it becomes to forgive yourself in the future, because you know now, deep within, you've always been worthy of love, acceptance and peace. And every time you look ahead, you can see yourself moving with a sense of confidence, ease and acceptance. You feel lighter, freer, and more at peace because you've already forgiven yourself. And as you walk towards your future, every step you take becomes a step of self-forgiveness. So now that you've given yourself the gift of self-forgiveness, just imagine how it feels to allow that forgiveness to ripple through every area of your life. Notice how each new day begins with this deep sense of peace and acceptance. And with each breath, you can choose to forgive yourself again and again and again effortlessly. It's as if every breath that you take fills you with more self-love and understanding, allowing you to step forward in life with confidence and grace, knowing deep within you are exactly who you need to be.